Hi, I'm Margo Hetzke. Welcome to the Vision High School Sports Beat.
The Vision High School Sports Beat is brought to you by the 9 locally owned Vision Automotive Group dealerships from Buick, GMC, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Hyundai, Ford, Kia, and Nissan, with locations in Webster, Henrietta, Greece, Penfield, Fairport, and Canandaigua. Online at visionauto.com. Hello everyone, and thanks for joining us on the Vision Automotive High School Sports Beat. I'm Bill Pucko. Every week at this time, we take a comprehensive look at Section 5 sports in Monroe County. We begin with our honor roll of high school teams. At number 3, the Penfield girls basketball team makes its first appearance on this list, and it won't be its last. The top-ranked Patriots opened with a win over Hilton. Margo Hetzke, finally a senior, and Lucy Coveley combined to score 51 points as perhaps the best 1-2 scoring punch in the game. At number 2, Hilton Hockey. The Cadets might be for real this year, opening with a shutout of highly regarded Brockport. Curtis Acker had 25 saves, and then followed that up with 14 in a win over Geneseo. 37 saves, 1 goal against. Sean Robeson had a hat trick for good measure. And at number 1, the Leadership Academy for Young Men's Basketball Team. It's a new charter school off to a 2-0 start. The Lions are led by Devontae Higgins, who scored 65 points in those 2 wins over Greece Olympia and Monroe. That's a 32.5-point average, folks, and Leadership doesn't have a senior class yet. Which brings us to Greece Olympia High School, where the area's best heavyweight wrestler is Ian James. He has a scholarship on trial. Ian James is a heavyweight, the defending heavyweight wrestling champion in Section 5. Some of the competitors rely on bulk. James counts on the quickness that comes with being in shape.
So I worked out most of the summer to get into this shape, to get ready for the season.
Yeah. So does football help your wrestling?
Yeah, it gets me stronger because all we do is lift and push other kids around. So it's basically like fundamentals for football and wrestling.
An outstanding lineman on the Greece Olympia football team, James is a better wrestler. Competing for the district's combined team, the Greece Storm.
I mean, he's an amazing football player. He does great in school with his grades. It just seems like everything, he just goes above and beyond. We did a fundraiser where he raised 3 times as much money as everybody else on the team. He's got it in his head where he's got to be not just the best, but he has to be way better than everybody else.
How does it differ when you get into the higher weight classes?
My kids are stronger and harder to move around, so that was the biggest challenge to adjust to.
And it's a lot slower. I mean, as a spectator too, sometimes it's a lot less interesting.
Yeah. There's some of the boring matches when you get 2 big kids just hanging on each other. I was always decided to get a kid that's quick enough to get a move in.
Shake hands. Timer.
James would like to attend the University of Buffalo as a pharmacy major, and the Bulls want him, but they've chosen to make him wait to see how the season goes before offering him a scholarship.
It drives me to work better then. It's like inspiration for me. I think it's a way I got to get better enough to get someplace I want to, so I take it like they're doing me a favor.
It's definitely a lot of pressure, but I think Ian's used to a lot of pressure. I think he's the type of kid where I think he's been in more overtime matches than any other kid I've ever coached, and he always ends up winning those matches. He's used to the pressure. I don't think he would have any problem.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
As if wrestling and football don't keep him busy enough outside of the classroom, James is considering trying out for baseball in the spring to round out a resume worthy of Greece Athlete of the Year consideration. Sports for Ian James is where it's at.
If you have bad grades, you can't play. So kids, I always stay in school, pay attention, get all my work done on time, and everything, try to get good grades. And it works for me.
Yanni Gakamahalis Hilton. Timo Paz, Brockport, Mat 7, 113A. On deck, Mat 7, 113B, Mark Marchetti, Brockport.
James won the heavyweight championship at Webster's Matthew Marino tournament in a 5-3 decision over Brockport's Ryan Madison. When we return, our ESL Scholastic Spotlight falls on a Rush Henrietta bowler, and Kim has our Vision Making the Grade nominee.
Hi, I'm Gunnar Blaze, and you're watching the Vision High School Sports Beat.
The Vision High School Sports Beat is brought to you by ESL Federal Credit Union. For more than 90 years, ESL has been investing in the region where we live and raise our families through personal banking, business banking, and wealth management. With ESL's shared commitment to the community and support for local sports and family events, everyone wins. ESL answers to you. Welcome back. Thanks for watching the Vision Automotive Group's High School Sports Beat. I'm Bill Pucko. This portion of the Sports Beat is brought to you by our newest contributor, ESL Federal Credit Union. Investing in the region where we live and raise our families through personal banking, business banking, and wealth management. All right, time now for our honor roll of high school athletes. At number 3, from among a pretty strong and deep class of boy bowlers, Derek Pratt of Greece Arcadia had the high series on Monday. Derek broke the 502-game series in pin mark. He's the only guy to do it. Pratt rolled a 504, which included a 278 game. At number 2, those Dupre brothers in Hilton. There are 4 of them on the cadet varsity wrestling team now, which won the Marino team title. 3 of the team's 4 winners were named Dupre. Lou at 138, Vincent at 152, and Anthony at 160. And at number 1, the Brighton boys swim team members Scott Lazaroff and Noah Stevens. These guys are barnstorming. Their first 2 meets of the year, Scott in diving and Noah in the 100 breaststroke, reset pool records in both Gates Chili and Newark. Stevens tossed in a record in the 100 butterfly, too. Which brings us to Clover Lanes and another one of those great Monroe County bowlers, Kenny Peacock of Rush Henrietta, who was lucky to be alive. Here's his story. He's not just lucky to be bowling. Kenny Peacock is lucky to be alive.
I was going, four-wheeling like any other day in the summertime, and I'd been to a place I'd never been before. I was just following the lead of my cousin, and a tire of mine blew out on the four-wheeler, and it, kind of made me lose control a little bit, and made me end up going off the side of a 30-foot railroad bridge, and I ended up landing at the bottom of a railroad trestle, unconscious. My cousin had to turn around and find me.
I saw him when he came in on the ambulance, and he was unconscious, and his color wasn't good. He didn't look like he was breathing, so it was really scary.
In his All Greater Rochester team bio from last year, Peacock mentions how he'd like to become an automotive technician and how he enjoys four-wheeling. It's on the bowling lanes where Kenny really excels, and one nearly cost him the other.
I know the first thing on your mind wasn't about, geez, will I have him for the bowling team? It's like, will he get better? When did it start to occur to you, geez, he might actually make it back for the season?
About a week before the season started. I'd kind of ruled it out. I mean, he said, I went to visit him a few days after it happened, after he got home from the hospital. And he looked like his old self, and I still said, there's no way. There's no way he's going to bowl.
First month and a half, I don't even remember, but it was bed rest. I couldn't do anything really. I didn't have the okay from most of my doctors to do much because of my brain, the injury in my brain. I couldn't do a whole lot. Plus my broken collarbone and my left hand. I couldn't do nothing for a while really.
But he did make it all the way back and has already reclaimed his spot as one of the top bowlers in the county.
I was pushing it. After 2 months after my crash, I tried bowling. I couldn't do it. It was way too hard, too much pain in my shoulder. So, I took it easy for about another month. And, after about 3.5 months after my crash, I started getting back into the swing of things a little. My scores started getting higher again, and, things are starting to get back to normal now. It feels good.
Perhaps because he can't actually remember the accident, Kenny is relatively unaware of just how lucky he is.
I recuperated enough to the point where it doesn't affect me anymore, so gotta be grateful for that, right?
You don't want to take life for granted. You know, it could have slipped away from him in that instant. And he's here. He's nothing short of a miracle in my eyes.
Coming up, our Cellino and Barnes All Sports High School Game of the Week takes us to Irondequoit, and Kim Berntsen is up next with our Vision's Making the Grade nominee.
Hi, I'm Scott Lazaroff. You're watching Vision High School Sports Beat.
Welcome back to the Vision Automotive High School Sports Beat. I'm Kim Berntsen. Making the Grade is brought to you by the 9 locally owned Vision Automotive Group dealerships, proud to be Rochester's #1 selling automotive group. This week, we honor Amir Ali Zainalabedin of the Harley School for making the grade. Amir is a senior and outstanding student athlete. He is a member of Harley Allendale Columbia's varsity swim team, cross-country team, and also participates in track and field in the spring. He and his teammate Russell Hagedorn participated in the cross-country state meet this year. When Amir is not partaking in athletics, he takes his talents to the stage. He participated in his high school's production of Once Upon a Mattress, where he held the role of the Silent King Sextimus. One of the main characters, I might add. Amir's academics have allowed him to be a part of the French Honorary Society, and he was inducted into cum laude last year. He is also the community service chair at his school and the co-editor of the school's literary art magazine, Muse. To top it off, Amir was just recently awarded a full-ride scholarship to Princeton next fall. Nominated by Peter Mancuso, Amir Ali Zainalabedin is making the grade. If you have an idea for our Making the Grade segment, a team or individuals making contributions off the playing field, you can contact us at info@classywolf.com. I'm Kim Berntsen. Here's Bill with our Big 3 Plays of the Week.
These are our Big 3 High School Plays of the Week, compiled in conjunction with 13 Wham Sports. Some combinations for you. Webster Schrader basketball. Emmett Holt is now a senior, and he's dominating inside, outside, and defensively. The Warriors claimed the Spencerport tournament title over Brockport. Holt was the MVP. On the girls' side, there aren't too many better than Savannah Cressetti. The Irondequoit junior is a deadly outside shooter from three-point range, but if that isn't working, she's a pretty good passer, too. This against Rush Henrietta in our Cellino and Barnes Game of the Week, which is coming up. And Spencerport High School hockey, the son of the late, great Amherst Hall of Famer Craig Sharon, the senior Graham Sharon, with a shot against Geneseo that Max Moran put in on the rebound. Craig's been gone over 3 years now. The kid carrying on his legacy. Up next, Rossetti and company take on Rush Henrietta in our Cellino and Barnes All Sports High School Game of the Week.
Hi, I'm Taj Lewis, and you're watching the Vision High School Sports Beat.
The Vision High School Sports Beat is brought to you by Cellino and Barnes. Car accident? Don't wait. Call 888-8888. Call Cellino and Barnes today. Welcome back to the Vision Automotive Group's High School Sports Beat. I'm Bill Pucko. This portion of the Sports Beat is brought to you by Cellino and Barnes, your personal injury attorneys. As opening season basketball tournaments go, the Irondequoit girls event was pretty good. It matched in the finals 2 unbeaten teams with real prospects. That game is our Cellino and Barnes All Sport High School Game of the Week. A year ago at this time, in this tournament, Irondequoit propelled itself towards the title by beating Rush Henrietta. The Eagles are prominent on the girls' basketball map after winning their first ever Section 5 crown last year and return as the favorites to do it again.
We're a different team than last year, although we have several returners. So we're still trying to find out what kind of basketball team we are. We were lucky enough to come out with 3 big wins. We played back-to-back, which is not easy, and we're playing again back-to-back.
The shoe was on the other foot this year. It was Rush Henrietta's turn to try to prove itself.
We played some teams a little bit smaller than us. This team has some size. They got some good outside shooters. So we're going to see how we match up against one of the better teams. We're looking forward to the challenge.
Early on, certainly, the Comets were just that. They took it right inside on their first 2 possessions. Zayna Dillard into Dana Watts for the easy points. Then it was Sarah Swayze to Emily Nessler. Rush Henrietta scored the first 6 points of the game and kept Irondequoit off the board for nearly 5 minutes in doing so.
We felt definitely defense was going to be a big part of this game. Irondequoit's a very good three-point shooting team, so we definitely need to step it up on defense to win this game.
When Irondequoit finally did get on the board, the Eagles did it with the long ball. Savannah Cressetti hit not just 1, not 2, but 3 three-pointers to pull within a point. Cressetti scored 16.
How important for your team are those three-point shots?
It's important, but as long as we move the ball and work as a team, we'll create shots.
The first quarter ended with Watts hitting a soft jumper to give Rush Henrietta a 14-11 lead. The game stayed tight through the second quarter. This time the Comets hit long range. That's senior Morgan Johnson with a three-pointer. It was rushed by 6. Irondequoit answered with a great pass from Cressetti to Mercy Young with a basket underneath. Watts was the go-to player for Rush Henrietta. The junior forward hit soft jumpers in back-to-back possessions to give the Comets an 8-point edge, the largest of the half. For Irondequoit, it was Cressetti one more time with the foul drawing drive. The Eagles were behind by 5 at the half.
Hey, way to come back, okay? Way to come back. You answered back, all right? What's killing us is going after every single fake.
We need to move faster. We need to move faster. I know you guys are tired. A lot of you are putting some more minutes in than you've had to put in all year. But when you play good teams, those minutes are going to be expected of you.
We cannot outjump this team. They're too tall, too athletic, too talented. We take care of the basketball in the second half, and we continue to play solid defense. We come out with a W. Let's go. 4-0. Right here. Family on 3. 1, 2, 3. Family. Our goal is we win every quarter. We're not looking down the road winning the game. Let's win the third quarter and see what we stand. Okay? Team on 3. 1, 2, 3. Team. Oh, sorry, Brett.
Early in the third quarter, Rush Henrietta grabbed control of the contest with a 7-point run. Watts scored 5 of those 7 points, drawing a foul off the drive for the 3-point play, and then hitting another one of those jumpers. Dana wound up with a game-high 19 points and 12 rebounds. The Comets had an 11-point lead.
Was this your best, do you think?
I think I could have played better. I know I try every day to work harder and harder and make my game the best it could be, but today was a pretty good day for that.
While Cressetti's scoring touch left her in the second half, she was still throwing the ball around pretty well, and Young was repeatedly her target. Mercy wound up with a team-high 18 for the Eagles. As a junior last year, Young played soccer full-time. Now she's back contributing to a championship basketball team.
It's fun and exciting. It's nice. I mean, it's different. It's more intense than it was when I played a while ago.
And you're doing remarkably well then for somebody who took a year off.
Thank you. I played CYO over the winter, so that kept it up. But then I did Fall League, and Mr. Ruschetti and Coach Decker helped me a lot to work my skill back up.
Trailing by 7 into the fourth quarter, the Eagles tried to shrink that lead. Young with the jumper this time, but the margin remained the same. Rush Henrietta managed to keep Irondequoit at arm's length. Senior co-captain Gillard scored 5 of the 7 points in that fourth quarter, and the Comets won impressively. As things turned out, they never trailed. Rush Henrietta claimed this early season battle of the unbeatens by 13, 54-41. Watts is the tournament MVP.
What does the win mean to you guys?
It means a lot. This is like the best win we've had so far. Irondequoit's like our competition, you know, so it was good to take it to them and win.
It means a lot to us. It means that we are definitely going to be good competition this year. It means other teams will see this, and we definitely have a tough schedule, and we'll just keep improving from this game.
Rush Henrietta's next big game comes Tuesday against Webster Thomas. We'd like to thank our Sports Beat sponsorship partners, Rosselino and Stephen Barnes, your personal injury attorneys, ESL Federal Credit Union, ESL answers to you, and of course the Vision Automotive Group and their 9 dealerships in the Rochester area. They make the Sports Beat possible.
Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next week.